emotional set point. If my emotional set point was here at the beginning of this challenge, I have raised the average of my parameters. I've raised the average of my set points. So this is me attempting to film vlog 21, day 21 of the 30 days of joy challenge. And you know what? It feels like I don't need to complete the 30 days. It feels like today on day 21, the 3-week mark, I feel kind of complete. I do. You know, they say it takes 3 weeks to build a habit, and I always tend to try and reach way beyond, like 30 days. I did the same thing last year with a challenge that I called 30 Days of Stillness and Sound. And the same thing happened. I got to day 21 and was like, I don't really need to do another week. And then you have these voices that are like, well, you've told the internet that you're going to do 30 days. So you look like a bit of a prick if you didn't do 30 days. It looks like you're giving up or whatever. But I generally I like the number 3. It's a good number in numerology. And 2 + 1 = 3. It's been 3 weeks of joy. And you know what? That's my hand. Eat the sock. There we go. Gunky eyes, huh? It's been 3 weeks of highs and lows, ups and downs, good and bad, and just a lot of bliss, a lot of joy, a lot of peace, a lot of being absolutely mauled. Look at this thing. Look at her. Where's your sock? There we go. In fact, where's your carrot? There you go. Here, have a carrot. Have a carrot. You like what? Oh, I said the C word. All right. I'm gonna get her an actual carrot because she eats frozen carrots. And then maybe she'll leave me alone for 20 minutes. Come on. Come on. Frozen carrot from the freezer. Peace and quiet. I'll be left alone for 5 minutes while she eats that. Oh, I've fallen in love with this dog, honestly. Like, the first few days were really hard, as a lot of you saw. But once you get into the flow and you figure out what works for her, what doesn't, like what will keep her jaws off of your wrists and what won't, as long as I play with her a lot and spend a lot of time with her and take her on a really long walk, and also figuring out how to grab her and hold her and hug her and stroke her where she can't get me with her jaws. She's been such a blessing, really, even though it hasn't felt that way a lot of the time. She's been a real teacher, and this is why I love house sitting, and why I love movement, and why I love travel, because no matter where you go, someone, whether it's a being with fur or whether it's a person who can smile at you and talk to you, every person that you meet, every being that you meet is teaching you something. I never would have started this challenge if I hadn't gone to Berlin and met up with Diana. I never would have learned the lessons that I'm learning if I hadn't met the people that I met out in Germany. I never would have been able to balance resilience and strength with softness, grace, and alone time if I hadn't been here with Shadow. And it doesn't escape my notice that her name is Shadow. It's almost like I have been wrestling with my own literal shadow, the playful inner child who gets a bad name and a bad rep because she's hyper and she wants things and she doesn't have any discipline and she's just running wild. And it's just a lesson for me to work with her energy, with her needs and wants, mold and adapt myself around her schedule and her timing. And again, it's just reparenting. It's reparenting the self. And it is such a beautiful lesson. And like I said in one of my previous vlogs, there are so many people out there that I haven't met who will become my favorite person, who will become another teacher to me, who will cuddle me at night, another animal, another kitty cat, another puppy, another old dog who just wants to sleep. There are just so many beings, so many souls in this world that I can learn from. And it's why I really struggle now to stay in one place, to settle my bones in one area. And I was talking about this with my best friend Sophia. She's in India right now, and we were talking about the price that we've paid for freedom. And make no mind, my friends, I am free in many, 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 many ways. I have freed myself from the system that we live in, the social system, the class system, the opinion system, the 9-to-5 system, the capitalist system. And freedom doesn't mean leaving behind totally. It means not being ruled by. I can exist in a capitalist society without being ruled by it, for example. But this sense of freedom that we've got from traveling the world, from bouncing from place to place, never being in one place for longer than even a few months, because we like to travel quite slow. It means that everywhere we go, we're always wondering where next. And this can feel like a burden sometimes. It's always like, oh, what do I do next? Where do I go next? But when you step back and you look at the privilege of that, of thinking, where next? Where will life lead me next? Where will the universe take me? Who will they bring to me? Who will they take me to? What teachers, what lessons are waiting for me? And this challenge has really shown me the importance of perspective, the importance of awareness, the importance of raising my own frequency and being conscious about it, and of paying attention to what things want to move through me and giving them the time and attention to do that. One example is, so this past full moon, the full moon eclipse in Virgo, a lot came up for me around anxious attachment style. And I've known for a really long time that I have like a codependent way of loving a anxious attachment style. And I was sitting in the garden basking in the sun, and because I've been doing this liver flush, haven't been eating much. I've been on like a vegan diet this whole week, haven't been eating that much. And so when I'm in that state where I'm not like able to fill myself with food all the time, it's easier for me to dive into my subconscious and access like other realms in a way. And as I was sitting there, I remembered what my dear friend Claudia had told me about a book called Feed Your Demons, which I still have to read. But it's this idea that when something arises within you, you give it a shape, you give it form. And so I felt my anxiousness arising within me. And so I decided to give her form. And as soon as I gave her permission to take form, she sat in front of me, and she was completely bound in chains. But she wasn't still, she was like writhing. She was like bound in chains, and she was like, couldn't escape. But then she would like wither and return back to this state. And she was wild-eyed and desperate. And she just kept saying, please don't allow any more pain to come my way. Please, please don't let them leave. Please don't let them hurt me. Please don't. And I was just like soothing. And I was like, it's okay. I've got you. I'm your protector. You're my priority. I'm not going to allow anything to happen to you. And yet I said, it's impossible for nothing to happen to us. I said, we can choose to stay chained and hidden away and numb, but that means that we won't really be able to experience life. And this idea of constantly moving around, bouncing from place to place, making new friends and then having to leave them again. This idea of like not having a stable home, of always living in other people's homes, looking after other people's animals, for example. Why are you biting me? I've done nothing but love you. Ow, ow. Giving her back the shoe. Here, have the shoe. Here you go. You eat that shoe. And then what I did in this visualization, this conversation with my shadow, is I suddenly had a key in my hand. Oh. Woman. And I unlocked all of the chains that were binding her. And as I did that, she fell into my arms, just like with exhaustion from having fought these chains for so long, been so constricted by this fear of being left, this fear of being hurt, this fear of life. And she just like fell into my arms, and I held her as she just like wept, and I just cuddled her, and as I did, she just shrank and shrank and shrank and shrank. And soon she was this little baby in my arms, and then I placed her inside of my chest. I cannot walk out into this world afraid of life anymore. I cannot cling to those that I meet, hoping that they will be the one that stays. I cannot allow myself to be ruled and chained by fear. And this challenge, the culmination of it being today on a glorious sunny day, because I am only going to do 21 days. I may still do some vlogs because I'm moving to another house sit. The reason I'm going to stop here is because for me, this is no longer a 30-day challenge. This for me is my life now. This is my state of being. This is how I'm going to operate. I have now built this foundational practice within myself of consciously raising myself, of being so aware when I'm not in joy, when I'm not in a higher frequency, of giving myself timed allowances to experience my emotions so that they don't last days and weeks, they just last 5 to 10 minutes. Allowing myself to dance and shriek and scream and stomp, but then bringing myself back up, filling myself back with light love. Remember, release, replenish, regulate. And now, when I imagine that glittery golden cloud of light love entering my being, I rarely feel much difference. It's almost like, whereas before, bringing that cloud into my being and my body had given me such like a boost and almost like taking a caffeine shot of liquid love, right? And now when I do it, it's almost like a slight breath. And I realize it's because I'm already there. I'm already vibrating very highly. I'm already in a frequency of joy, of peace, of love, of gratitude. And sure, there are times when I dip, but those times don't last very long, and I'm super aware of them. And when the time is right, I bring myself back up. But do you remember in day one, what I said was I wanted to change my set point, my emotional set point. If you remember, I said that emotional set points are almost like the parameters, the boundaries at which your own subconscious will allow you to hit a high and hit a low. And we all have emotional set points. There's a reason that when you get to a certain low, you never really go any lower. You could even equate it with weight. There's a reason why those of us who struggle with losing or even gaining weight is you get to a low, you get to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm back at this beautiful weight again. Okay, I'm gonna push through. No, your emotional set point, your weight set point is like, oh, we've reached the limit, we've reached the set of how low we're gonna go, so now it's time to go back up. And then when you reach a certain weight up here, your body's like, or your mind is like, oh, no, sorry, I'm not gonna let myself go past this weight. Like for me, I've always fluctuated between 13 stone and 12 stone. Every time I get to 13, I'm like, oh, time to go, oh, that's a bit, and then I go back down. Every time I get to 12, it's like I subconsciously start eating again, right? It's the same with emotions. Like when you reach a level of depression or low mood or whatever, it's almost like something within you snaps and you kind of go back up. And then when you reach a certain level of bliss and high and joy and oh my gosh, this is amazing, it's almost like boom, something drags you back down. Emotional set point. If my emotional set point was here at the beginning of this challenge, I have raised the average of my parameters. I've raised the average of my set points. And that's what this feels like. It feels like when I reach a low now, it's almost like that low is nowhere near the low that it used to be. I don't even know if it really equates as a low. It's more of like a awareness or a numbness. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. I mean, you guys saw it. You guys have been watching the vlogs. You've seen some of my low points. But within them, I've still been able to remain clear and aware and to hold myself. Whereas before, my lows would have floored me. And so I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself for getting here, for getting to day 21. And like I said, this is now me. I don't need to continue to film up until day 30 because this is now me. This is, and I'm obviously not going to stop at 30. Like, this is my set point. And the more that I continue to rise, the more that I continue to bring myself into joy, remain aware, the more my set point will continue to rise. And I'm super proud of myself. Yeah. And I want to thank you if you have watched all 21 days of this 30-day challenge. I really appreciate you watching. I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate everything. All the likes, the comments, the subscribes. Like, thank you so much for joining me on this journey, for caring, I guess. It's just been a little experiment. And so much has changed. Since the beginning of this experiment, I have now decided to leave my job. I have decided to move abroad and continue my travels. I've met beautiful people and had awesome connections. I have come and lived in a mansion. I have dealt with the demons of my anxious attachments. I have had so many new ideas for things that I want to bring into this world and implement. I have gained a guitar and started to learn her at a really fast rate, really. And I have also channeled through and brought through a brand new song. Oh, it is just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And yeah, I will continue to do vlogs of my days, of my travels, of my house sits. I will also begin to do more tarot readings. I really feel called to bring those back in. And also, I want to start talking about the lunar cycle, so the new moon and the full moons, because they impact me so much. And the planets are just something that I love. Like, I just love astrology. I've been learning about it for 5 years. I give intuitive birth chart readings. In fact, if you would like a tarot reading or intuitive astrology reading, or even a Reiki with sound healing, the links to my services are down below. I will soon be adding coaching services. I will also be adding a 21-day joy mentorship. I've been going through everything that I have experienced over the past 21 days. I've been reviewing all of my videos, and I am turning everything that I've learned and all of the techniques that I've been using and all the ways I've been uplifting myself and holding myself, and I'm going to be transforming it into a 21-day course with a workbook and everything. So it brings me joy to think that I could help others lift themselves up into joy. Like, I want to help you do what I just did, but whereas I didn't have anyone helping me or mentoring me or giving me pep talks, I want to be able to provide that for you guys. If you're interested in that, please go ahead and put your name down below, or give me a thumbs up or something. Like, let me know if there's any actual interest in that. Yeah, thank you once again. I'm super, super grateful for your views, for your support, for your love. I'm wishing you all the best, and I will see you again soon.